The meatloaf! So the dreaded holiday season is fast approaching us. A lot of people have been messaging me, commenting, saying, can you please make a video about how to stay on track during the holidays? The holidays are one of the most stressful times for people who are trying to stay on track with their fitness goals, their health goals. And the holidays are kind of one of the most difficult times for people to actually continue to stay on track. You're going to family parties, are surrounded by a lot of delicious food that's all just spread out on a table for you to go ahead and eat out of your macro range or out of your diet or anything like that. I've come up with 10 tips for you guys to help you stay on track during the holidays. Tip number 1, guys, bring your own food. I know this sounds a little weird because you're probably like, well, I don't want to bring my own food in a Tupperware. I don't want to bring chicken and asparagus in a Tupperware and eat it in front of everybody on Thanksgiving. That's not what I mean. Unless you're on prep, you might be bringing your own food if you're on prep in your Tupperware because you're on prep. But unless you're on prep, you really don't have to bring your own food in a Tupperware, guys. You can bring your own salad. You can bring something you already made. I'm going to bring cauliflower mashed potatoes, and I'll put the link for that video on how to make that there. And I'm going to see how many people I can fool into thinking that they're real mashed potatoes. But if you bring a food or a recipe that you already made and you already know the macros on it, and you can share it with your family and your friends or whoever you're having dinner with that day, they might like it as well, and you can feel a little bit less stressed because you know you have something that you already made yourself. I also like to bring my food scale with me wherever I go. You don't necessarily have to whip it out in front of the whole entire family if you don't feel comfortable doing that. But personally, I don't really mind doing that. Most of my family and friends know that I track already, so I don't mind bringing my food scale and bringing it out to dinner and weighing out my servings of everything. Tip number 2, do not skip breakfast. I see a lot of people just saying that they're going to starve themselves until dinner because they know they're going to eat a lot of calories at dinner. Problem with that is that you're going to be so hungry by the time dinner comes around. You're going to eat your first serving of about 1,000 calories worth of something because you're so starving, and you're going to have one serving of it, and you're probably going to finish it in about 60 seconds. And then your brain isn't going to be able to catch up to how full you are or how much you just ate because you're still pretty hungry from not eating all day. So if you eat like a low-calorie filling meal in the morning, like an egg white omelet or something like that, you're going to have a lot better chance of not overeating during dinner. Tip number 3, exercise on the day of the holiday, whether it be Thanksgiving or Christmas. Most gyms I know of are open either in the morning or at night after the holiday, or probably just early in the morning until around 11 a.m. Even if your gym isn't open, go for a walk in the morning, go for a bike ride, do some at-home exercises. Just do something to exercise that day, not to like punish yourself for potentially eating 1,000 calories, but just to like get your body moving. Usually if you're exercising, your appetite is a little bit more suppressed. I know when I go for morning walks in the morning, I'm not as starving right when I get home, so I like to do that. And you can also exercise and go for a walk after you eat as well, just to kind of like get the digestive system moving. If you just sit down after you eat and like vegetate on the couch like a potato, your digestive system isn't going to be moving as quickly. It's going to slow the process of the digestion of all of the food you just ate, and you're going to feel like super bloated. So I would go ahead and say do exercise a little bit after and then have like a full workout in the morning if you can. Tip number 4, serve the food and help clean up after. This is one of my absolute favorite things to do. I like to make sure everybody has their food first, and then I can get my own serving and then sit down with everybody and slowly eat my food. And then I also like to clean up afterwards. Like I'll grab everybody's plates and then I'll start putting all of the food away. I put all of the food into Tupperware and put it in the fridge so it's not just sitting out afterwards. That's probably one of the people's biggest issues, is going back for seconds, having the food just sit out and stare at you afterwards. I know that's my biggest problem. That's one of my binging triggers. So being able to clean up everybody's plates and put all the food in the fridge, and people who want seconds have to physically go in the fridge, open the Tupperware, and get it themselves, as opposed to it just being there. So cleaning up and serving the food also kind of like distracts you from really paying attention to just waiting for the food. Like you're the one serving it and you're the one hostessing. So that kind of helps me. I like that. Tip number 5, fill up on your vegetables. This is one of the biggest things that helps me. If you fill up on salad or steamed vegetables or something like along those lines, you're going to already have a full stomach with something that's really low in calories, but it's really filling. So you're not going to be starving by the time the higher, more caloric dense foods come around, like the stuffing and the turkey and the gravy, and you're far more likely to have a smaller portion size of those more caloric dense foods because your stomach is already a little bit full from the vegetables. Tip number 6. This might seem a little obvious. Drink water all day. Now, this is another thing that's kind of stemming off of like the vegetable thing. Fill your stomach up with something like water. Like, you're going to be consuming a lot of high sodium foods and a lot of caloric dense foods. You should do things to prevent yourself from being really starving by the time you serve yourself those calorically dense foods. So I always have like a sparkling water with me. The carbonation kind of helps keep me full. I'm probably going to bring my jug of water with me and try to drink like a half a gallon at least before I start eating, just to keep my stomach full and to prevent me from feeling more hungry and wanting to serve myself huge portion sizes of foods that I don't really need that big of a portion size for. Tip number 7. This one's a huge one, guys. Set realistic goals. If you go into your Thanksgiving dinner, your holiday dinner, your Christmas dinner, anything, if you go into it saying, I'm not going to eat anything, I'm not going to eat anything that anybody is cooking for me, I'm going to resist temptation of every single appetizer, cookie, dessert tray, fruit tray, meat and cheese tray, I'm going to resist every single temptation and only eat what I brought, you're probably going to not do that, and then you're going to eat off of your plan, whatever you had planned, and then you're going to start feeling guilty, and then you're probably going to overeat. I recommend setting realistic goals. So personally, I know that there's no way in hell that I'm not going to eat some of the food that is served on Thanksgiving. But I know that I don't have enough macros to fit every single thing that I want to eat, so I'm realistically going to set goals for myself and say I'm going to eat some of the turkey, a small serving of the stuffing, I'm going to have a huge salad, and I'm probably going to bring myself like a buff baked cookie for dessert just for like myself. So set realistic goals for yourself. Don't be too strict on yourself because you're just going to set yourself up for failure. Alright guys, eat slowly and wait 30 minutes before you serve yourself seconds. Now this is huge. The stomach and the brain don't connect about how full you are for a solid like 20 to 30 minutes after you finish eating. So for Thanksgiving and holiday dinners, usually you're going to be so excited about the food. You're super excited to eat it. You shove it all down your throat all at once, and then you automatically go get seconds. But your brain doesn't realize how full you are for 30 minutes or so afterwards. So if you kind of just eat slowly, enjoy every bite of your food, eat mindfully, try to like not sit in front of the TV while you're eating, just like pay attention to what you're eating. This is kind of like intuitive eating as well. Just really focus on like the flavors, how good everything is, and then sit down and wait 30 minutes before you get up, because chances are by the time 30 minutes rolls around, you're not going to want to get seconds because you're going to be like, all right, I'm full already, like I'm good. Usually the impulsive decision to go get seconds comes from not being full just yet. So wait 30 minutes, just hold off, you'll thank yourself later. Alright guys, number 9, de-stress and stay positive. If you're letting your macros or your diet plan stop you from having fun and enjoying time with your friends and family, it really shouldn't be doing that. You're supposed to enjoy yourself and have fun and live a balanced, healthy life along with trying to reach your fitness goals. So if you're really stressed out all day about eating, you're not going to be focusing on spending time and making memories with the people that you're really there to hang out with. They're not going to care whether or not you eat 3 servings of ice cream or 0 servings of ice cream. If you have all of those ideas stuck in your head and they're stopping you from staying happy throughout the whole day, kind of just rework your way of thinking, or maybe rework your restrictive diet. Staying positive and staying happy throughout the entire day really makes a huge difference too about your food choices. So if you're more happy and positive, you're less likely to eat based off of your emotions. So that's a huge one. Last but not least, just say no. This is probably a really big one, especially if you have a history of like binging or binge eating in the past. Saying no is really hard, especially when food is being offered to you and your family is like, please eat this, eat more, have seconds. Do you want more? Do you want this? Do you want that? It's okay to not take the opportunity to eat everything that's in front of you. You have willpower and you have your own decision-making processes, and you don't have to say, yes, I want this, 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 and this, and then I also want this dessert, this dessert, this dessert. You have the ability to say, no, I don't want to eat dessert today because I already indulged during dinner, or no, I don't want to have 8 servings of stuffing because I really want to have the pumpkin pie later. You can say no to things, and even just all throughout the year too. It doesn't even have to be at holiday dinners. Just because something is sitting there in front of you waiting for you to grab it doesn't mean you have to accept that food. You have your own decision-making skills. This is really just a test for you to remind yourself all of the time you are making decisions for your health and your fitness goals. You really kind of just have to take a look inside yourself, remind yourself that you have some goals and you're trying to reach them, and it doesn't matter what anybody else kind of like asks you to do or feels that you should be doing. You should be doing whatever you want to be doing. So I didn't want this video to be too long. I know there's a lot of other tips people probably have to help stay on track during the holidays, so if you have any of those, go ahead and comment below. Thank you guys so much for coming back to my channel. Again, I really appreciate everybody watching. Like and subscribe this This is what happens when I talk too fast when I vlog. Like this video, subscribe to my channel, and share this video with anybody that might find it helpful for the holidays. So thank you guys again. Talk to you later.